We were lucky to arrive in San Francisco just in time to catch the inaugural journey of the Transcontinental Express, which would take us to New York in 8 days with only a handful of stops. Fuck! It's not gonna work. Uh, 8 days. It's day 72. By the time I get to New York, the bet's lost. I wasted too many days. I took the wrong routes. I'm so depressed now. Oh, apparently our Monsieur is sick. Ah. I don't care. I don't care. Cheyenne can be reached. Or Dallas can be reached via Cheyenne. What about Atlanta then? Oh, Atlanta was burned down in a fire towards the end of the zombie apocalypse. I mean, war. That sucks. I can get to Omaha. That I can sell obtain something in Omaha and sell for a profit in Havana. Interesting. Well, I guess in a way I'll see how far I can go regardless and enjoy the trip while I can. We're gonna lose the bet, but hopefully from this I've learned enough about the game, like from this experience, in order to try and learn from my mistakes and, maybe approach the next playthrough a little bit more aggressively. The first day aboard was enjoyable enough. American trains could clearly not compete with their European counterparts, but it was amusing to see them try. The posters proclaimed Pullman's Palace sleeping cars, but they were more like places to keep cattle. If reasonably well-to-do cattle. We sipped cool beer as we rattled through a long stretch of desert in the shadow of tall mountains. I scoured the view closely through binoculars and caught a glimpse of a line of buildings set into the side of a mountain face. I saw a statue carved into the stone and a column of dark green smoke, but what could it mean? I do not know. Oh god. My voice broke. Seriously, I feel so bad. I'm trying so hard. You guys know. You guys know I'm trying my hardest. Trying to embrace the mechanics and do the best I can, but unfortunately the best I could is going to get me to New York on day 80 in a game called 80 Days. Close, but no cigar. I guess on the bright side, I could have done a lot worse. Yes, I'm kind of consenting to defeat at this point. I'm just going to see where I can get to at this point in time. Our fellow passengers were a curious mix of gold and silver prospectors, homesteaders, farmers from all corners of the world, Mormons, missionaries, soldiers, stiff-necked gentries, and further douchebags. I gave a young black woman with a deep red bonnet and an infectious laugh a wide smile. Her name was Diana. I am meeting my husband in Cheyenne, she told me. He did construction work in New York, but New York isn't safe anymore. We have enough money to move now. Why isn't it safe? Oh god, why is my voice cracking more than usual? Why isn't it safe? You did not hear the draft riots in Europe, she asked wonderingly. New York has always had Confederate sympathies, and when the Union began drafting New Yorkers, they rioted. They killed and burned black homes. My husband had never felt safe since. But now we're moving to Cheyenne, she smiled, nearly glowing with happiness. Might as well give her some taste of the adventures that, alas, have gotten us only a short distance away from our goal, but not close enough. We watched as passengers disembarked, glimpsing fertile fields and well-tended ranches out of the windows of the train. Continuing onward, my friends, continuing on. You can take a carriage from Houston to New Orleans. Right. There are shootings weekly in Albuquerque. What's that supposed to mean? Don't threaten me. Today, a fellow with a painfully trimmed mustache and an impeccable suit approached me outside the lavatory. I nodded at him companionably, and his thin lips parted into a contained grin. "I am Felix Granger," he said. "You are a puzzle." "A puzzle? Monsieur, I am a simple man whose past is an open book." "Oh no, do tell me how you came to be on the Transcontinental. Thereby hangs the tale, I can tell, good sir." He was merely interested in me and my adventures, and I saw no reason not to enlighten him in great and florid detail, because I have nothing left to lose. His eyebrows raised higher and higher during my recitation. "Then, this is your first time in America?" "Oh yes, a very strange place, you will allow, monsieur." He seemed surprised. "Are we so strange?" "Maybe we are at that, by God." Alright, by the time we get to Cheyenne, it should be close to Monday. We'll try to stay there until we can get our funds and see what we can do. Maybe the game will let me continue and see if I can get to London even past the 80-day mark. Sure, we'll fail, but at least I want to say I got to London and not get stranded. You know? Our arrival in Cheyenne, Magic City of the Plains, was met to our surprise by a small parade, which we rather enjoyed but did not investigate too deeply, preferring to find onward travel as soon as possible. The town was otherwise rather small and uncomfortable, and ill supplied with decent tea, as is becoming something of a trend in this country. Ooh, burn. So the next possible trip is to Omaha. Go. I have no money. Just do it. Seeing there were no more trains heading east from Cheyenne for some time, so we were forced to hire an open carriage to carry us as far as Omaha. More uncomfortable than a railway for sure, but not altogether that much slower. The road followed a roughly straight route and was kept well clear. Yeah. Not in a good place, I will have to say. Omaha to Chicago. Well, it is a straight line, a bit further than Burlington, but still. Can't believe we only have 4 pounds left. I've put myself in one hell of a deep hole. I thought I was being crafty throughout this game, but I guess the fact that I haven't played this before definitely shows. I have to say, though, I'm having a hell of a time playing this. You know, just made a few tactical mistakes, I guess. You know, I don't know where exactly. I think once I started to board that vessel that took about over 10 to 12 days that we eventually tried to ride against but failed. No. I think both those water travels, both of the ship travels, like from I forgot where it was called, but we went from one place to Singapore, and then we took another thing that eventually led us to Honolulu, which was supposed to take us to San Francisco. I think we killed too much of our time trying to rely on travel via sea. So maybe I need to try and stick closer towards railways and stuff. I don't know. Apparently it's possible to get around the world in 40 to 50 days. There has to be a method. There has to be some sort of trick of the trade. And please don't tell me in the comments. Please avoid doing so. Maybe hint at something very subtly, but definitely leave me to try and figure it out. Because I definitely want to be challenged, and I really want to feel accomplished when I finally do get around the world in 80 days. So we did have the carriage to ourselves, but my master did little to assist with the passage of time, so I was forced to play whist with him, despite the clear and certain knowledge that I could do nothing but lose. But curiously enough, I won the first round, and then the second was uncomfortably close. I began to worry for my master's well-being, and so played below my ability for the third deciding game. He beat me, but it was a victory drawn of its joy. The carriage rolled on, and we did not speak to each other. And yet, our relationship has built. Can't complain, I guess. On the second day, something truly unprecedented occurred. Passepartout, my master declared. I believe I must apologize. Apologize, monsieur? Whatever for? You may act as you wish. There's something about this landscape that is most upsetting. I believe it has to be the scale. I theorize no civilized man can live in America without losing some of his essential humanity. The open skies and distant horizons are simply too much to bear. Do not concern yourself, Monsieur Fogg. We will soon be in the city, I reassured him. There will be walls and streets. It may yet pass that America has cities, but at present I fear they are largely plots of land that offer little civic comfort. Perhaps New York will be more acceptable. Monsieur Fogg said nothing more on the matter, and the carriage carried onwards across the ever-widening open plains of the Americas towards the tiny settlement of Omaha. Alright, let's see. Anything I can sell? Anything at all? Sell that. Everything else I'm going to keep, though. So our only option is really to go to Chicago, which leaves in 3 days. All we can do is sleep and pass the night. It's Monday now. And the hotel was too expensive. We had barely 100 hours remaining to return home. Yep. Pretty much. The smell of blood filled the streets of Omaha, billowing from the chains of abattoirs and meat houses along the river's edge that washed their waste out into the waters. "You look dapper," remarked an Irish woman, brushing past with a bleeding basket. "I'm somewhat lost," I admitted, and the woman laughed. "I can hear that, dear," she replied. "This is Shelleytown, and it's mostly for us Irish, though a few others creep in. You look like you want to be on the Gold Coast, rather." "Is that nice?" I asked, not quite daring to use the word palatable with the scent of raw meat on the breeze. "Not nice, but nicer than this, dear, nicer than this." Though she did not seem unhappy, with that she wandered away up the road, prattling to herself as she went, and I was left to find my way on my own. Bank opening up. Please tell me I can get the money here. If so, then I have a plan for my second playthrough. No. You can't go to a different bank to do it. Somehow I feel like I should have known that, but it's over. We didn't even make it to New York. We're halfway into the US. That's where it ends. Visited 22 cities. Traveled over 23,000 miles. I'm presentable, passionate, sound. I still have a comfortable relationship with my master, but who the hell cares at this point? Alright, let's get you to Chicago. It was with some trepidation that we boarded yet another caleche out of Omaha after our disagreements on the previous leg of the journey. I was determined to be an excellent valet for this leg, neither singing nor fidgeting nor winning at cards. I would provide basic grooming, organize our cases, and otherwise remain invisible. Pastor Perdue, my master declared, I do not believe my shirts are correctly folded. I have been collecting dust in my cuffs. Kindly attend to it. Of course, monsieur. Very good. Here you go. Managed to improve his health a bit, but it's over. It's over. I must credit my master. His reassertion of our position on the day before had mended our relationship somewhat. Silently, I thanked him for it. I certainly did not wish to lose my position. Who knows how close to that I had come before his clarity of leadership gave me a second chance. It's day 80. I can't believe it. Oh yeah, we have an extra day because we passed the Greenwich time zone thing. I could not wish for a more attentive assistant. Yes, I know, I'm awesome. Our carriage kept up its paces, taking us across increasingly boggy land until we began to pass wooden horses, scattered about seemingly at random. These were the outskirts of the city of Chicago. We were both relieved to see it, I think. We had passed through the wilderness together and came out the other side, once more, master and man. Let me just take into my trip. I need to analyze this and see where I went wrong. I went so wrong. I think the first thing was going from Vienna to Venice. Maybe I should have gone to Warsaw, make a push this way. Looks like it's like a straight line. Though I doubt it would have been that simple. I ended up detouring, going southeast, and then taking a sudden trip north because our guy didn't want to go, I believe, to Bombay? Or there was a reason that we took a sudden trip to Dubai instead. Then we started to get back on our correctly on our trip, and then I was hoping from Calcutta we would stop at Chittagong and then we could head further east, but instead I ended up on this trip that I couldn't get out of that circled around from Singapore to Hong Kong. Then this disaster! So, just to show, this is how close I was to getting to London. Depressing, isn't it?